everyone. Happy Easter and welcome back to another episode of the Small Church Musicians Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm your host and I'm a small church musician. I'm on a journey to find the best sounding equipment for my budget and to talk about the songs and artists that I love listening to. This is another episode of Songs on My Radar, the series where I talk about a couple songs that I listened to over the past week and share my thoughts on them, what I like about them, and what I think God was saying to me through each of them. I guess this past week was when every artist that I listened to decided to launch new music, because we have so much new music to talk about this week. But not only that, it's Holy Week. So once again, happy Easter. I've been trying to prep myself for today, and I listen to a lot more music than I usually do, and that's really saying something. But before we dive in, I just want to remind you all that if at any point you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast for more episodes just like this one. And like I said, I listened to a lot of music this week, both new and old, so this episode might be a little longer than usual. So let's get started. The first song I'm talking about this week is one that I've been waiting for since June of 2023. I'm talking about We the Kingdom's brand new single, Church Music. Oh my gosh, if you haven't listened to the song yet, you need to change that as soon as possible because, oh my gosh, this song is huge. It's, for crying out loud, it's the name of their new tour that they're going to be headlining with Katie Nicole. Oh my gosh, they have another massive hit on their hands, and with good reason. Like I said, it's so much fun. The core message of the song is so simple. It asks the question, what if church music were like rock and roll? And Ed Cash isn't talking about the negative attributes that you typically get at a rock show with different kinds of people to hang out there who may or may not be involved with things that they shouldn't be, or we're not going to go into that. But he's talking about what if church music had the energy, the excitement, the passion, the joy, the enthusiasm that you get from the crowds and the bands at a rock show. What if that happened? And that's what this song is really all about. It's so much fun to sing. It's so much fun to play. Fun fact, I went and taught myself the electric guitar riff to this almost immediately. And it's so incredibly gospel. It's so southern. It's so country. It's ridiculous. And it just makes you want to get up and dance. And I can't dance. Fun fact, I really can't dance. But it just makes you want to get up and move. And that's the other core message is Jesus can use music to move people. I love the bridge where it says, it's not about the music, but I know he can use it to make you jump out of your skin. He can use music to move you and connect with you. And that's what We the Kingdom's all about, is letting the Lord speak to people through their ministry. And that's what worship is all about, is the Lord moving through music to connect with his people in a real and meaningful way. Oh my gosh, this song is so much fun. I know I've said it multiple times, but this is probably going to be up there with among my songs of the year whenever I put that list together. We still got a long way to go. It's only April. Let me tell you, the only thought I had about this was it's missing Franny Cash Kane. This is the first single We the Kingdom's put out since she has stepped back from the band, and she's not even featured on the track whatsoever. She did make an appearance on the plans, and I was so glad that she did, but this is the first song without her, and it's pretty noticeable, but it doesn't take away from it whatsoever. It's so good, and they have another huge hit on their hands. Definitely give yourself a chance to go listen to this song this week. It's so good. Well done, We the Kingdom. Remember how I said in the intro that it feels like every artist that I listen to decided to drop a new single this week? Well, Mac Powell is firmly on that list with his new single, Like It's Nothing. All I can say is, wow, he's absolutely done it again. You all know how much I love and appreciate country music, and this is the most country worship song that I have ever heard. It incorporates so many different genres, kind of like what We the Kingdom does, but it combines funk with gospel with country, and you get this song. The choir singing backup adds so much to it, and the guitar solo is so good. Like I said, it's so country, it's ridiculous. It gives off serious Brad Paisley vibes, and that's a great thing. The song itself is about all the miracles that Jesus performed and still does, and how he's able to do it like it's nothing. It's about how nothing is impossible with God, and that's so relevant in today's times, but especially with this being Holy Week. Mac has always had a fantastic voice. I mean, Third Day is still my number one favorite band of all time, and I'm so glad that Mac is still using his gift for God's glory, and he keeps putting out amazing hits. He's really embraced his country roots since he's gone solo. My only negative thought with this is that, and it's not even a negative thing, it's a me thing, I wish it was longer. The song clocks in at exactly 2 minutes, 17 seconds. It's so short, but maybe that's a good thing. I didn't want it to end. Also, This song prominently features the cowbell, so I get to say this now. More cowbell, please. The next song I want to talk about this week is Pat Barrett's surprise new single, Beautiful Life, featuring Kane. Oh my gosh, I didn't know I needed a collaboration between Kane and Pat Barrett, and now I need more of it in my life. And yes, this is another instance of the ongoing joke that Justin can't go an entire week without talking about Kane at least once. I wasn't planning on talking about them, but then I had this song pop up on Spotify. I heard it, and I knew I had to talk about it. This song is so good, and God has used it to minister me in such very real ways. Let me talk about this for a minute. Beautiful Life's core message is about how there are going to be difficult times in our lives, but every day is a gift from God, and we need to remember that and treat our lives as such. I love the bridge that says there's a time for weeping, a time for laughing, a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time for dancing. There's a time for dying, and there's a time for living. And all of this is a reference to Ecclesiastes 3, a lesson that God has used to speak to me in a very real way with the season of life that I'm in right now. This song means so much to me. It's so good, and the vocals on this really drive home that point. And oh my gosh, I keep saying it. This is so good. Go check this out as soon as you can. I do want to point out, though, this is another example of Christian music borrowing country-inspired harmonies and musical influences and using them for God's glory. This is such an interesting time that we're in right now because it feels like Christian music is moving from a big U2 electronic kind of mega church vibe and moving more into a country gospel rock vibe. It's interesting. We were in a bluegrass position for a little bit, but now we're going just full-blown country, and I'm 100% here for it. This is a beautiful song, so definitely go check it out this week. Let's move on from the new singles and talk about some older music for a little bit. Seeing as how it is Holy Week, by the way, once again, happy Easter, everybody. I hope you have a great weekend. I've been listening to a lot of music that carries the message of what this week is all about, and one of my favorites for a while now has been This Is Love by Cutlass. This song is off of Cutlass's Believer album, which features some awesome songs such as Carry Me to the Cross and, of course, the title track, Believer. While I do really love all of these songs, I even have the official Believer guitar strap from when the album was released in 2012. Wow. Also, how was this album released in 2012 and how is that 12 years ago already? Oh my gosh, time is so weird. My favorite song on the album has always been This Is Love. This song tells the story of Jesus' last few days of his ministry and his time on earth and how much he loved each and every one of us, starting with Jesus in the garden praying, asking his Father to take this cup from his hand, but if it is in his will, to let it be, and ultimately how he was lifted up on a cross to die, but death couldn't hold him and he rose in victory. The love that we were shown is so real, it's more than a hope or a feeling, and that love is enough to cover each and every one of our debts. This is indeed what love looks like. To me, this song is more up-tempo than a lot of other songs that talk about this topic, and I think this is a great way to do it. It's inspiring, it's engaging, and I still think it's among the best songs off of this album. Definitely worth your time. Another great song that I listened to this week in my preparation for Good Friday and Easter Sunday was Lacey Sturm's version of Mercy Tree. If you're not familiar with Lacey Sturm's work, her ministry, or her story, she was the lead singer of Flyleaf before she stepped away to be a mom and see what else God had called her to, before she started her solo career where she's released some seriously heavy rock songs like she did in Flyleaf, such as Rot and The Reason, which is one of the most powerful, beautiful, and intense songs that I've ever heard. That song is literally her testimony in song form, and I'll include a link to it, and it'll be in the Spotify playlist so you can listen to it and her story, but I'll warn you, she's been through a lot, and it's a lot to take in. But let's talk about Mercy Tree. This is a cover version, originally written by Chrissy Nordoff and Michael Neal, and I sincerely hope I'm pronouncing that name right. And it was released as part of My Hope, which is a compilation of songs inspired by the life and works of the late, great Reverend Billy Graham. This is literally a modern-day hymn, and it's one of the most visual songs that I've ever heard. The Lord has used this song to describe what happened on that day so incredibly well, and I just can't get the images out of my head. And then the final chorus hits and becomes a song of celebration. It says, "Death has died, love has won, hallelujah, hallelujah. Jesus Christ has overcome, he has risen from the dead." If there ever was a song written for this weekend, and especially for Easter Sunday, it's this one. And as somebody who's been a fan of Lacey's music in general, not just this, but her work in Flyleaf, let me tell you, she has a phenomenal voice and such a heart for God, and her passion comes through every single note that she sings. Oh my gosh, go listen to this. This song will give you chills. Up next, let's talk about Passion's Glorious Day featuring Kristen Stanfill. At the time of recording this episode, my worship team and I have just played this song for the first time ever in church for the Easter Sunday service. And oh my gosh, I have been listening to this song nonstop for 3 weeks in preparation for today. This song is so good. But here's the thing. I've been listening to this song literally for years at this point, and it never gets old. It's still so much fun. And if there ever was a song written about the celebration of the message of Easter Sunday, it's this one. I highly recommend watching the live performance of this song from Passion Conference 2017 to see that many people worshiping and jumping for joy. It's a sight to behold, and it's what I think about when I think about the day when all of God's people worship together. This song is so personal while simultaneously being so incredibly general and applicable to every single person. As Kristen Stanfill says in the live version, this is my story and it's your story. It's about who we were until Jesus called each of us by our name, and we all ran out of our individual graves that we've been buried in and into his glorious new day. Oh, what a day, and oh, what a song. Well, we started this week with We the Kingdom, and I want to close out with them as well. So let's talk about God So Loved. If for some reason you haven't listened to this song or you don't know it, you need to change that as soon as possible because this song is amazing. It deserves every bit of the acclaim that it has, and We the Kingdom deserves all the credit that they get as a band, not just because they've filled the hole that Third Day left when they retired as a band for me, but they're just so good, and this song is just fantastic. If you haven't heard this song, it is literally the message of the gospel in song form, specifically John 3:16. It's so joyful, it's so celebratory, and it just makes you feel the hope of that message. The message that God so loved the entire world that he gave us his one and only son, that whoever believes in him would live forever. This song brings us the message in a way that gets stuck in your head, and you want to sing that chorus. It's like a need. You have to sing it. It's so catchy. Let me tell you, when I found out this song was getting an international version where the lyrics are sung in other languages, I was so excited because this message applies to all people of every tribe, of every tongue, and of every nation. God so loved the world. Let me say that again. God so loved the world. Let me talk about the performance for a moment. The vocals on this song are amazing. The instrumentation is fantastic. We the Kingdom has always had a great vocal range and some fantastic dynamics, and especially their harmonies, and this song showcases that so well, especially Franny's solo. And what I love about the instrumentation is that it makes you feel joy. It's bubbly, I guess is the best word for it. It makes you want to smile, and it uses its blend of acoustic and electric instruments to forge a sound that lends itself so well to this style of music. It's almost bluegrassy. So if you need to hear a fantastically inspirational song for Good Friday/Easter Sunday weekend, then do yourself a favor and listen to this song because you will be inspired, you will feel hope, and you will feel the message of the gospel in your heart. Oh my gosh, this song is so good. So there you go. There's another week's worth of music that I listened to, and I listened to so much this week. I was so glad to get to experience the new music as well as the material that I've been listening to for years, and I really think the Lord used it to help prep me for Good Friday and Easter Sunday, because all these songs are so relevant to Holy Week and just the Christian faith in general, and I got so much out of this week, and I hope you all did too. Anyway, I sincerely hope that you connected with the Lord through this episode and that he used these songs and this discussion to inspire you. If you feel called, I'd love it if each and every one of you would consider following Small Church Musicians Podcast on Spotify, subscribing for more episodes and content like this, leaving a review, or even sharing this with a friend or someone you know on social media. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter/X. Just search for Small Church Musicians Podcast. And don't forget to check out the playlist, Small Church Musicians Picks. It's where I post new music that I'm listening to all the time. I upload new episodes every single Tuesday between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and on Sunday afternoons between 1 and 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I also want to tell y'all that I'm going to be at the Chris Tomlin Holy Forever World Tour opening night in Newark, New Jersey. I can't wait to worship with y'all, so come say hi. I'll be the guy fanboying over how amazing Kane's vocals are live. And so, friends, remember, this show is for everybody, regardless of what size church you attend. And remember, everybody's welcome here. Till next time, I'm Justin. I'm a small church musician, and I'm on a journey to find the best sounding equipment for my budget and talk about the songs and artists that I love. And I'll see you next time. Happy Easter.